I would like to get one of those graphics that HBO used to use before their feature presentations, you know, when it was flying through the city, then shoot up in the air and turn into a gigantic HBO. Yeah, I'd like to get that for the AIU series. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's a little fanfare, a little bit of revelry, if you would. Anyways, pardon, guys. So, apparently YouTube's dropping like $100 million on black content creators, and you know, I've been shooting my shot. Like, hey, YouTube, what's happening? You give me $100 million, guys. Drug war is on its way over, my friends. I can guarantee you that much, and it would go a million times further than any of these quote unquote charities or nonprofits that are like, oh my goodness, we're gonna end racism. Good, best of luck. You know, by your mere existence, you only facilitate the shit, right? Like, by merely sitting there crying about it, you are facilitating it, whether you realize it or not. Because particularly depending on this is one of the reasons I'm having such a hard time with all of these athletes and Spike Lees and these and your Oprahs and all these entertainers, like, oh yeah, Ice Cubes, all these entertainers who've done very well for themselves on this system, crying about, oh my goodness, I'm so oppressed. Dude, bruh, I don't believe there's any way to be more tone deaf. But that's what the internet is for. As you can see in this latest AIU video, you've had folks painting their face and doing black face, brown face, green face, purple face, and you have content creators like, oh my goodness, I cannot speak on behalf of the African, quote unquote, African American community, because guess what? I can guarantee you most of these people are not descendants. I can put cold hard cash on most of the people who are like, oh my, sitting there screaming about oppression aren't even descendants. I can promise you that. You have no space to go. Like, honestly, I don't believe you qualify to go to 400 years of history when your family got here 10 minutes ago. That's just me, though. That's just me. Either ways, the white ambassador has dropped the video, and where a content creator gave his channel up to quote unquote black content creators. And so shit, man, like let's just go swimming in the ocean here. Let's go.
Good God. Zero ownership. I mean, this is sickening.
You have to say Latino on Latino crime is an issue. You also have to say Asian on Asian crime is an issue, which you guys aren't willing to say that, are you?
You got us. Yeah, black and black crime's not a thing because Asian crime, I mean, what about Asian crime? Yeah, right.
And so if that's the case,
Black on black crime. And if you're unfamiliar with my stance on it, dude, crime is crime. If you harm somebody, you harm somebody. You can remove that prefix and it's still just as terrible. So, dude, it's a dead issue that people use to just, you know, complain and talk without going towards any real solutions.
then you have a logically inconsistent and failing argument.
What a dumb motherfucker. Holy God.
And on that note, so let's actually talk about the actual crime of what's going on, if you want to focus on that for some odd reason.
If we want to focus on crime for some reason, it's only the cities and country in which we live. Yeah, we might want to focus on it.
It's highly self-righteous and ignorant and misinformed of someone to assume that they know how the black community responds to crime within the black community.
Okay, so once again, this community, quote unquote community, has been fractured from, like, it's not what it once was. It hasn't been what it once was. When you have the welfare state that we do, when you have the single parent household situation that we do, which trust me is what do I like to say, is disproportionately, right? That's their word, disproportionately jacked up on our end. Not exclusionary, not excluding anybody. White folks, y'all got it screwed up too. But but I mean, this community isn't a community. It hasn't been a community for a long time. You got a whole bunch of folks who see a grift, who see just like, as far as you know, quote unquote, what descendants, what blackness is supposed to represent, or, you know, what you automatically attach it to, descendantry. it's been like feminism broke this back in the 80s, man. It bent it over its back and broke it back in the 80s. So when you have people sit here talk about their communities, they're basically talking about like 5 people that they know in their life, probably, probably immediate family and a couple of cousins. But besides that, no, everybody wants to lead. And the women have been given this just total control. So thusly, it can't be a community because it's based and built around the feminine, and the feminine is fickle.
Whatever the response is, it's not doing anything. And also, yeah, we do know how you respond. You respond by starting idiotic movements like Black Lives Matter, focusing exclusively when a white cop kills a black person, and ignoring any culpability from your community for the ridiculous amount of slaughter you do on an ongoing basis. And not to mention assault, robbery, burglary, rape, all of it. Oh, but we don't know the secret meetings you have, and you're really solving the problems in the ghetto. Nice, dude.
It's got to be one of the most self-righteous things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God, oh my fucking Lord. The projection just hits you like a fucking brick wall.
Because you obviously don't live in a black community.
You're damn right we don't. Why on earth would we? You know why we don't? Because it's drenched in crime, which is the whole...
So, and that's the thing. If you look at it geographically, these are urban spaces, and these urban spaces, just from a geographical standpoint, are designed to be as basically the toilet of the nice communities, of the suburban areas, of the places that everyone else where people actually, where decent people who want a peaceful life do want to live. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, they've taken these urban centers and they've used them to just like, yo, this is where the dregs go. We need a prison farming system. That we need a lot of chaos and a lot of debauchery because that keeps our communities nice and pristine. It's an ebb and flow to this that nobody really likes to take. No one else really likes to look at.
Point you're trying to avoid.
And no people in it. You haven't talked to the pastors, the grandmas,
the fathers. Yeah, exactly.
The parents, the civil rights leader.
What civil rights leader?
So, but that's the thing. Yeah, he's right. So they all swear that they are. They all like, oh yeah, follow me. I can teach you the way. Like, dude, shut up. You ain't got you got like 5 baby mothers. Get out of my face, bro. Like, how are you gonna lead, dude? But that's the thing. It's basically a play. It's a power play. It's a part of the established hierarchy and monarchies and hierarchies of urban society and urban America, because it's like, once again, built around the feminine. They've had to have all these people up in their feelings and their emotions so they can feel all self-righteous. You guys see the videos that I do. It's nothing but emotions in these spaces, in these areas. And that's why they feel they are entitled to react in violent ways. There, Mr. Tracy. Let's keep going.
Civil rights are done. You have them. What civil rights are you looking for? None? You don't have a list? What are your demands?
The leaders in the community in general, people who are leading service projects and community.
Lead them straight to shit. That's the problem. They lead the oh yeah, they're leaders, all right. They grifters. They're charlatans. Yeah, like these people have no the interest. What's in the best interest for those folks will never trump what's in the best interest for their profits or their libido in many cases.
Service like basketball games, all of those things. These people have always been championing for issues to stop. That's literally always going on.
Well, there's not a massive global movement addressing it. There's no funding going to it, and it's completely ineffectual. So that is not the narrative at all. So I like this secret crypto war against, inner city violence. Just say no to gangs, guys. It doesn't matter. You are failing on many levels.
He's 100% correct, but that's the problem, Devin. It's a failure on purpose. It's spinning wheels because in those in the investment class, those in those who invest, those who got the stocks and everything else like that, they need these areas as they are. They have to be that way. That way, it has a high turnover rate, such as myself. Where I dip straight to Cali, bro. I dip straight to Cali. I've been to Florida. Like, I've been all over this nation, right? But in an attempt to get the hell away from this space. Why? Because these spaces are designed for the exact same problems that everyone continues to cry and complain about. And a lot of it, I'm not saying, and then the drug war is going to kill all of it or fix all of it, but damn if it wouldn't go a lot further than just walking around. Oh my goodness, oh my cousin was killed. Oh, like, yeah, we know, we get it. Everybody lose people. Jesus Christ.
Lives Matter is the movement. The message of Black Lives Matter is to not criticize the black community. That is absurd. We will not allow for that to happen. You're getting criticized, bitch.
As a matter of fact, black people are very balanced about what we address. Like, we care very highly about police brutality, and we care very highly about what's going on in the community.
What's going on in the community?
We?
You mean the mass criminality? You mean the total failure of your households, parenting, education, ability to acquire income? All of that? The fact that you can't sort your shit out? Obesity, heart disease, all of that? Yeah, you care a lot about it. I mean, you don't mention it at all, and you don't hang it over the head of the world and try to guilt and shame them with it, because, oh shit, it might be your fault.
At the same time, the only...
But that's the interesting part, isn't it? Like, as far as whose fault it is, can you help what you're born into? Right? It does all start from birth. It all starts from the circumstances and conditions in which you bring life into this world. So yeah, bro, and have the child support slash marriage and all these laws in the position that they're in. They're set that way, right? In order to kind of subconsciously, get us used to these types of systems. Because me being from a marriage, me being from a 2-parent household, when I see exactly how, easily everyone was just like, yeah, we're this child support thing, run with it. Whoa, like, wait, what? Like, hold on, that doesn't sound right, because that wasn't the world in which I came up in. So there is it's very strange, because people will walk directly into traps that are set for them.
People that seem to be disproportionately caring about black on black crime are the people who are trying to deflect from the issue of police brutality.
That was the stupidest statement I've heard all year. The only people that care about black on black crime are the people who are caring about the lives of black people. Yeah, it's just hideously hypocritical that you think this conversation is going to be about white cops killing black people in a world where you kill everyone.
Here's the thing, and that's where we get into circular logic, right? Where it's just like the problem, like you create your own problem, and then that problem just keeps manifesting itself generation after generation, because it's there on purpose. This segment of society exists for a very specific reason, and you don't have to bait. See what I did there? People into, and you don't have to bait people into it. They'll happily walk into what seems like a good what seems like a good deal to them, i.e., the child support thing from the female's brain point, which different brains. I can't think for them, but oh yeah, well I had this baby, I can make money, I can get bread off this baby, good, and thusly. Here we been since the late 70s, 80s, 90s. Here we are.
It's not happening. If you pretend to care about black lives, then you would obviously be talking about black on black crime. Obviously. You don't. Because this is a shakedown, it's a money grab, and it's a guilt trip, and it's a way for you people to vent your hatred, your anti-white hatred. So,
church. Because wow, if you're familiar with the content, particularly over the weekend, where it's like, yeah, I'm running across a lot of different people who I'm just like, wow, you really don't like white people, huh? And like, I wasn't raised like that, because at the end of that term, white is people, person. Why look at them any differently on an individual basis based on a group? Because I wouldn't want you to do that to me. And here we are.
Don't get get it twisted, my brother. We care about ourselves more than you. And if you are fucking up and breaking the golden rule, we don't like it. And
We? Because there's a lot of you there, Mr. Tracy, on out there kissing, washing feet and kissing ass and being in chains and doing the whole guillotine thing, bro. I love how everyone likes to just like, yeah, my team, we're so awesome. Are you though?
especially don't like it when you come into the public square and try to blame us and say, oh, there's something wrong with us. No, 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 my friend. There's something wrong with you and your community and your beard.
And it's funny because I hate answering that. I hate giving a justification for that because I don't want to set the precedent for other black people to feel like we have to justify our humanity.
See, that's the thing. Like you think, how do I put it? You can't sit there like screw the group, black people. Like, bro, like, you know how many fights I've been in, and how many of those fights featured other black men? Come on, man. You know how many times I've been shot at, and who was on the other side of that? Let's not sit here and pretend like we're monolithic. And the crazy part is that there's this a huge segment of society that genuinely believes that we are, and that no, you have to respect. If we're gonna sit here and respect people and respect their intellect, respect what they have to contribute to society, can we make sure that what they have to contribute to society is worth a shit?
And justify our activism.
Yeah, your activism is a joke, and you're getting called out for it, and it's simple to do. Your humanity? Oh, are you a human? Are you a human, Brian Glaze? Are you sure if you're a human or not? Do you want me to tell you that you're a human?
Yeah, I gotta keep it a buck with y'all. That's the weakest shit I've ever heard in my life. It really is, and it's infuriating, particularly when you got a human, and not Mr. Glaze here, Brian Glaze. That's a made up name. But yeah, you got the NFL and NBA players. Oh, as a black man, and Brian, what was it that the one wide receiver who came after Drew Brees? Oh my goodness, man, you just don't know. It's like, dude, where's your sack, man? This is the problem, and this once again we can draw back to the single mother problem that we have in our community. Where it's just like, oh yeah, baby, you can feel all your emotions you want. Just let it out. No, that we're different beings. You can't just sit there and tell a boy, oh yeah, be as an emotional little bitch. Like, nah, that's not how that works.
Fuck off, dude. Such whimpering bullshit.
I don't want to set that precedent. We don't have to do that. But for whatever reason, and I know why.
Is it racism?
It's become a politicized argument to try to deflect from police brutality by trying to turn the issue to black on black crime.
Oh, I'll turn the fucking issue wherever I want. You think it's like, oh no, it's your show. You got the conch. You got the mic. We're going to talk about when white cops kill blacks. Well, okay, great. Here's a new topic. How about when blacks kill cops, which happens 40% of the time a cop is killed is from a black. So let's talk about those cops who didn't deserve to die, but who are dead. I'm going to talk about that. Let's talk about who's killing people in these riots. Who's doing the killing? It's blacks. Let's talk about those.
Once again there, champ. No, it's a little bit of everybody. Okay, these mobs, you know what? These are rainbow colored mobs. In a few instances, particularly that Walmart, like, yeah, it was like just one white guy. Everybody else there, everybody else was a bleep. But when it comes to like the violence and who's doing what, nah, bruh. Nah. Let's not try to play that color. It's just black people. Nah, Devin, cut it out, bro. That's not cool.
Murders. Let's talk about just murder in general. These are new topics, Brian. Hey, Brian, you want to have that conversation with me? Because we're going to move on from your man bites dog argument. I squat and shit on the problem of police brutality. I could give a fuck. Stop committing crime. Stop resisting arrest. How about that? Okay, that's my response to, police brutality. Stop committing crime. Stop resisting arrest.
And stop the soft bigotry of low expectations, guys. See, with the situation in Atlanta, like, dude was drunk, dude was fighting the cops. Like, at a certain point, I'm not gonna like. I'm checked out. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh my goodness, you kind of get what you like. Whatever happens after a certain point, right? And I know that because of my intimacy with the outlaw lifestyle and dealing with police and knowing, hey, state gonna back them up. State ain't gonna back me up, which is why avoidance is best. But when you have absolutely no choice and you're kind of caught in a bit of dead rights, you might just want to be more charming than a complete asshole, okay? Because then you're just definitely screwing yourself. But I mean, I gotta say, like, if you're like, hey, whoa, officer, hey, is it my birthday? You guys got a stripper for me? What's going on? If you're a little bit more jovial, like, yo, like your chances of at least, surviving the incident is better. Whether and that's called reality.
Did do something.
Black on black crime.
Yeah. Air quotes for black on black crime. Wow. Did you just air quote away the 25 dead black people in Chicago from a couple weekends ago? They just got air quoted? They had names, and their names were jacked up. Maquifa, I think, was one of them.
Black on black crime. That started in the 80s.
Yeah, black on black crime started in the 80s, guys. Didn't you know? When did you start, by the way? 2005?
He looks like he was probably born in the 90s, but either ways, deal is that no, it didn't start in the 80s. Like when it comes to crime in and of itself is not a new concept at all. The jargon that's used is has fluctuated throughout the years, but when it comes to crime, and that is the harming of another, saying physically, financially, not emotionally, but like that's crime. Okay, so it's a concept that's been around for forever, in every situation, every single interaction that has ever happened throughout the course of human existence has been unique in and of itself. Just circumstances, the situation, the time of day, whether it's the weather,
That political terminology there. And it's been faulty logically ever since then.
Faulty logically, folks. Yeah, there's not a thing. It's an air quote situation. There is no such thing as black and black crime. They don't want to talk about it. Well,
talk about it all the time. See it all the time. It's part of life. It is what it is. And faulty logically it just hits the ear wrong. It's faulty logic. That's just faulty logic. It's faulty logically. That really hit my ear very wrong. I had to point that out.
You know what I say to you and my fans? Let's give them something.
And so I'm saying all this to say, please, if you run across people who use that logic, please stop them in their tracks.
No, you're not stopping us, and we're going to speak loudly and proudly because we're here, we're queer, get used to it. Oh, sorry, that's you.
And counter it immediately, even if it's not for their sake specifically.
Yeah, he does come across as a little bit of alphabetical.
Let it be for the sake of people who run across their argument.
Yeah, guys, stick with the narrative. Stay in lockstep with our talking points. Don't let them talk about something else. Don't point out the huge holes in our fucking philosophy.
And if you are using that argument, please stop.
Yeah, how dare you be considerate of the 99% of black people who are dying? How dare you bring those people up?
Because I just showed you, it literally does not work logically.
Oh my god, this guy's like the anti-Vulcan. You don't have a fucking clue about logic, dude.
Mathematically, in any form.
Doesn't fucking work. Huh? Work this. Shoe on head, hit it.
Shoe on head. Yeah, she's crazy as hell. She thought Bernie was gonna win. Yeah, she's one of those socialist communist chicks too, but she's tiny and she's hot, so everybody's like, oh my goodness, yes. She has a following and crazy. It's yeah, I be seeing the stuff that she be talking about. She's like, yo, this girl. Oh, I can see that I think the armor dude is the one smashing that, and I can completely see why he would, bend to her whims, because when they're that nuts, that young, that cut is crazy, bruh.
Black people commit way more fucking crime than anyone else, and it's not even close.
Like, it doesn't work. And so we have to stop deflecting from the issue.
All right, this shit is fucking crazy. Like, there's 3 other dudes they bring on, and each one is as stupid as that guy. But, I mean, I am swept over with a spirit of giving. I want to give back to the Bleep community. You know, the fat white schlub at the beginning of this, he wanted to give over his platform, so it's time for me to stop talking and to hand over the mic to black people. Hey, black.
I gotta ask, do y'all know any of those folks? Cause I don't know the guy who gave up his channel. I didn't know that Brian Glaze guy until I started this. Like, do y'all know any of these folks? The only other person I know that I've seen in here that I'm familiar with is Shoe on Head, and like I said, she's like a communist nut.
Black people are unstoppable. Ding! Yeah! Alright, so I've hand-selected some blacks. Probably not the blacks they want me to, but black nevertheless. So please, sit tight, put on a seatbelt, and listen to these Nubian gods and goddesses speak their minds and tell you what's what.
Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't
Today?
or cannot? Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No.
I'm Morgan Freeman. Ever since I was a little boy. Okay, look, I know my Morgan Freeman sucks. All right, I definitely do. But yeah, he hits it right on the head, the nail on the head, and he always has. He's been saying this for a very long time. It's a big part of the reason why it's so obvious that there is a segment out there in Hollywood that want to use, that are just looking to use the America's history against it.
I don't. You and I, we're proof. Why would race have anything to do with it? Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that. It's kind of like religion to me. It's a good excuse for not getting there.
You know, I said, it's probably get me in trouble, but I said to some of my colleagues recently, so I know that it's an issue, but it seems like every single day on television I'm talking about race, and it's because of the news cycle.
And look, it's been every day since, and he's still sitting there griping and complaining because that's his job. See, I think the difference between Morgan Freeman and Don Lemon is that Don Lemon was like plucked from, plucked and put in his position because he looked a certain way. He was more Obama-esque. Like, you notice, like, made the Bachelor a black dude, and the reason is because the dude that they chose looks exactly like Obama. Like, they have found their guys, and so they're running with them.
It's in the news, but sometimes I get so tired of talking about it. I want to just go, this is over. Can we move on?
And if you talk about it, it exists.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, Morgan Freeman nailed this on the head a long time ago. If you sit there, keep bringing it up, particularly not once again, I'm not of the mindset that you can't joke. By all means, make the jokes, man, because they're jokes. They're supposed to be laughed at. If you're being malicious is one thing. If you're making jokes, it's something completely different. And there's a lot of people who don't recognize that there's context between that. But as far as just like, I'm such a victim. Oh my goodness. Like, bro, like, nah, you can't. This is not the time to play that game. Like that game was played a very long time ago. You had the Civil Rights Act come through. And ever since then, you kind of have to judge this era from this era. You can't sit here and take it all the way back 400 to the beginning of time. I'm like, who cares? I get those folks all the time. Oh my goodness, you need to do your research. Back when the two atoms met and banged and created the world. And like, okay, look. Can we fix what's taking place here and now? And one of the main things, and it's like and Morgan Freeman really hit it on the head, and that's part of the reason why this video is so long, because I wanted to get to him. He also uses Denzel, who talks about the importance of a father, which is something that I speak on this channel all the time. But when he said you set your mind to something and you go for it, and you can get it, it's not he's not being wrong. He's 100% correct in that. And this is a big part of the reason why I wanted to end on this. because it's part of the reason why I do a lot of the videos that I do. It is about you and what you decided to do with your life. It's on you, nobody else. So, guys, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice, you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know, what do you guys think in the comments? Like, I can break these videos down all day. And I know this one's a little bit longer than usual, but I really felt compelled to, just like really point out how this is been used. Like the exploitation, it's ridiculous. It really is. Whether you can see it or not, the use of the Marxists and the commies and the socialists and everybody who's sitting there calling themselves something a little bit different than authoritarian, tyrannical, dictatorish, all right? Like, and they've been using this, they've been using our women, they've been using the structures of they've been using the structures that have been in place really since the signing of the Civil Rights Act to just to basically play a gigantic game of chess. And when it comes to racial animus in this nation, they're really pulling the trigger on that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until the next one.